How's it going, everyone? Gringo back here, and today we're going to be taking a look at another Extreme-Z-Area, the Universe 6 edition. Now, I want to do this one to finish up that Vegeta, get some more Dragon Stones, because I have been pulling for the cooler as much as I can. I think I've put about 450 stones into that banner, and still have not been able to pull him, but I have been able to pull like 4 copies of the LR Intelligence Vegeta, which I do not need, so I think I might be stalled on the cooler banner for now, and I might go to the Goku banner, but we will see with that. Anyway, getting into it, I want to go over the events a real quick, where you're going to get the actual characters for the Extreme-Z area. The first one here is going to be the Dragon Ball Super Universe 6 Saga, and this is where you are going to pull this Cabba down here in Stage 6. Now, for his first Dokkan Awakening, since he is an SR, you will need to Dokkan Awaken him twice. You will need the medals from Stage 2, 7, and 8. Moving along, the other event you are going to need right here in the background is the Universe Survival Saga Tournament of Power Commencement. Now, from this one, in Stages 2 and 3 are going to be your Caulifla and Kale you will need. And stages 6 and 7 are going to be the medals, the other ones for Cabba, and then the medals for Caulifla and Kale. Now, since that's done, let's switch right over to the stages and see how we do. Okay, so switching back over, we are about to get into stage 1 here. But first, let's talk a little bit about what we're going to be bringing, and it's going to be the Universe 6 category characters. Stage 1 in the back here is going to be Cabba, Stage 2 Caulifla, Stage 3 Kale. Let's scroll down a little just to make sure. So stage 1 is going to be Technique, stage 2, Strength, and stage 3 is going to be Intelligence. So getting into our team here, we are going to bring this Vados as our leader. She has Universe 6 category lead, which is going to be every character that you're going to be able to bring into this, so that is nice that everybody's going to get those buffs. She also has a evasion mechanic, so she has a high chance to evade enemy attacks that you can see on the right there, which is nice, and she will also give a passive buff to the stats of all of your Universe 6 category allies. Now, for the rest of our team, we did make a free-to-play team, I believe, so we are using the Cabba, the Caulifla, and the Kale from this event that you're going to be able to get up. The Cabba isn't super impressive compared to the other ones to me, but he will link well with your team. The Caulifla is a character that I always like to use. I do like her evasion mechanics that she has all the time. I do like that she links very well. Yeah, she links very well with Kale. So having those two characters in the same turn and rotating them between 1 and 2 based on what you need, so you will probably use the Caulifla for more enemy attacks because you can get that dodge mechanic in there, and then you will use the Kale to link with her because they will stat boost each other. It will give the Caulifla an extra attack that has a chance of becoming a super, which you just saw in the background there. Did not become a super, but the extra attack. So that's nice. I do like how they always link well together. Now, our fourth character, the Super Saiyan 2 Kale, is going to be the one that links very well with the Caulifla, so keep them as number 1 and 2 in the same turn, flip-flop them, use the Caulifla to block, use the Kale to deal some damage, and lower the defense of the enemy with her super. Kale's passive can also buff herself, she can buff her allies, so that's very nice as well, but try to keep her together with the Caulifla in the same turns, that's the main thing. For the fifth character in our team, you will see we brought the free-to-play Physical Hit. That is another character that does have evasion mechanic again. So we have 3 characters on the team already with the Vados, Caulifla, and Hit that have evasion mechanics, which is always nice, especially in these stages. It will make them a lot easier. And the Hit also has a chance of stunning on his attack, so that is definitely a bonus mechanic there as well. For the last character, we brought the dual Universe 6 Namekians from the free-to-play event. With the Namekians, they will get attack and defense buffs based on how many Universe 6 category allies you have in the team. So again, every character that you're going to bring to this event is going to be a Universe 6, So throwing them in the team was kind of a no-brainer, especially if you're looking for a free-to-play team, and they will hopefully mesh well for you with the rest of the team. So we are just finishing up stage 1 here in the background and about to move on to stage 2. As you can see, I did have kind of low health here in the background, but I feel that these stages with Cabba should be fairly manageable. If you can get your evasions in there, if you can get a chance of getting a chance to stun him, then you should be able to find kind of a workaround for that stage. The main thing is you do not want to take hits with the Vados if you don't have to. Although she does have a high dodge mechanic, there is still the chance that she does get hit, and if she does get hit, it is going to be for a lot of damage. Especially if he supers, then that could cause a lot of trouble. So if you can, try to keep her away from him. Try to keep the friend Caulifla in the background right there away from him as well, if you can. But overall, the Cabba stage should be manageable. But talking about the stage 2 we're on now, we should have no problems really. I feel the stage should be a lot more manageable than the Cabba stage 2, because the 2 characters that had the disadvantage in his stage now have type advantage in this stage. So they should be able to do a lot more for you. They should be able to take hits. Both of them have an evasion mechanic that should make this a lot easier. As you can see in the background, we're already done with stage 1, so that wasn't too difficult, but the lower difficulty on these stages you would kind of expect to be able to get through, so we will start up the higher difficulty right here and see what happens. So for this higher difficulty here, I'm still not expecting too much difficulty from it. Obviously it's going to be more difficult than the lower difficulty stages. But again, we have the 2 type advantages. We have 4 characters in our team with dodge mechanics. We have hit with the stun. So there's a lot here going for us, especially compared to some of the other Extreme-Z areas where a lot of the characters don't mesh as well. You don't really have a lot of the mechanics, like a lot of evasion and stun that you do in this one. So there's just a lot going on for this team, which is why I really like Universe 6 teams. It's probably one of the teams I have the most fun with using in events if I can, or wherever I can really. I like how the Cauliflas and the Kales always work well together, and there's always different forms of them. So you have their base forms, you have the Super Saiyan 1, you have the Super Saiyan 2, you have Berserk Kale, you have the Kefla, you have Super Saiyan Kefla, Super Saiyan 2 Kefla. So since those all count as different characters or unique characters, they tend to work very well together. They'll give themselves a lot of extra attacks, there's a lot of evasion in there, extra supers, just all sorts of stuff that makes using them a lot of fun. So in the background here, as you can see again, I'm not having too much trouble. I've almost got full health, and we are 1 shot away from finishing this fight. So let's have our Caulifla finish herself off, and there we go. So again, not too difficult, or not too much difficulty with this stage. The Cabba stage was probably a little harder with the 2 type disadvantage characters. I know I might sound like a broken record going over it again and again, but just kind of trying to reinforce the fact that stage 1 might be a little more difficult than stage 2 if you have the team that I'm using. So it actually might even be a good idea to start the Caulifla stage and finish that one, and then get her up and maxed out and go back to the Cabba stage if you're having some difficulty with it. Moving on to stage 3 here though, we are moving our Cabba to the back out of the line of fire and putting our 2 evasion characters in the front. So hopefully they will do what the Vados just did and get me some evasions, get me to the next turn where I can get our 1 physical advantage character in and see how much he does. But we will see how much the Cabba does here, and pretty impressive actually. And in the background here, it's not looking too difficult again. In this one, your hit is actually going to be the type advantage character, so that can be very useful. His dodge mechanic coming into play there very nicely. Here comes a super. Let's see. He finished her off, so we didn't get to see a chance for that stun there. But I'd rather finish her off, of course, than just get the stun, because then we just beat the stage and you don't have to worry about her getting more attacks in there. So we are just going to move right into the higher difficulty and see how much of a change that is. In this stage, again, you are not going to want to see your type disadvantage character, which is going to be the Cabba, take a lot of hits most likely. You are going to want to use the dodge mechanics of your 2 Cauliflas and your Vados if you're using the same team I am. So in here we have 3 characters in turn 1 with a dodge mechanic, and hit did not get the stun, but there is a double dodge right there from hit. So as you can say, we have yet to take a hit because the Caulifla dodged as well. And let's see if the nope, Vados was not able to dodge even with a high chance. So as I was mentioning before, you might not want to throw her in front of the Cabba, because that could happen to her in stage 1, and that would definitely be a lot more damage in stage 1 than it was there for me. So here is our 4th character that had the... Oh, no, it just went straight to the Cabba. So we did not really need the dodges in there. The Namekians not really doing a ton of damage, and I just forgot that they are also technique. So I forgot that part right off the bat, of course. So other than the Cabba, you probably will not want them to take hits as well if you have them in the team. I believe there are a couple more free-to-play characters in the Universe 6 category if you need to flop some around. I believe that there's a Champa character, I think it's the strength one, that you can actually get from the same event as the hit Vados and dual Namekians. So with that, we are done with this event. It wasn't really too troublesome compared to some of the other Extreme-Z areas, but collecting these characters and raising all 3 of them up from SR could be more difficult or more time consuming. And other than that, that's going to be it. I hope you enjoyed, and see you all next time.